Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Zoko and I got a new video today about making some easy money in ESO. Now this is pretty much going to be available to anyone from the start. There are going to be some skills to make it a bit easier along the way, but in all honesty it's not actually required to get started. Just a reminder, if this is your first time here, I do ESO videos with guides like this, some PvP videos along with covering other RPG games. So if that's something that interests you, please consider hitting that subscribe button, dropping a like, and let me know your favorite stealing route in the comments below, because we all know there isn't just one. So this route is super easy to get used to. It's kind of the beginner thieves route, but I still see some master thieves use it just because of the convenience. We are going to be going to Glenumbra, the Daggerfall Way Shrine. This puts us right near an outlaw's refuge outside of the gates, which is going to be used as our destination to fence the items we end up taking. I use my Nightblade for this. Obviously, Nightblades have a lot of skills that benefit this type of activity, and I'm going to be taking advantage of that as much as possible to avoid the guards. This character doesn't really have any Thieves Guild skills yet, and I'm not very high in the Legerdemain skill line, so this is kind of also a demonstration in what a lower level or lower skilled character in these professions, I guess you could say, would be able to do. But be aware those two skill lines are what will benefit you the most in this money-making strategy going forward. Regardless of not having the ideal skills, I still find this a very useful activity, and it helps me whenever I get bored farming overland sets, running dungeons, or maybe I just don't have the time to do very much. It's an easy thing to make progress in, and as long as you aren't really caught or being looked for, you run no real risk in just logging out at any point. This is something I tend to point out since sometimes I just have to up and go on short notice. Now, just to have an overview of where we are going with this route, we start furthest away from the gate and go in a clockwise direction. The route ends up basically looking like a backwards S when it's all said and done. These are also the houses we hit along the way. There are 7 houses in total usually. I will drop it to 6 if I make a mistake and get a bounty, but I will go over that in a bit. As you get deeper into stealing, investing into the skills makes the income much better, and also losing any sort of bounty you do get much faster and more effective. Now I'm going to show you guys a quick run. So this is the first house we end up looting on the route. It is a small one-room home with 2 NPCs. They for some reason keep their safe box on the bed, so wedging yourself in the corner is, in my experience, the best way to stay hidden while going through the picking process. Having a high enough Legerdemain level will allow you to effectively force locks and expedite this process significantly, but I go about this the hard way on this run. Now if you want to roll the dice or have a high enough pickpocket skill, you can pickpocket an NPC twice. The second time is a bit of a lower chance for success though, so keep that in mind. And if you can time it right when their back is turned, using the Blade of Woe will get you basically a third loot chance off of the same person. But again, I avoid it usually in these single home dwellings because the risk is pretty high of getting a bounty. It's completely up to you though. Higher Dark Brotherhood skills reduce the detection radius for these criminal acts, so it may be easier at that point to pull it off. Just next door we have a decently sized 2-story home with 2 NPCs in it, 1 on each floor. Easy kills with the Blade of Woe for both, with no real risk. 1 safety box spawns on the bottom floor behind the cabinet near the NPC, and there are also 2 usually advanced lockboxes that spawn upstairs on either side of the bed. Both floors have some cabinets and dressers to go through as well. Leave nothing unchecked, you never know what you can find. After that, we have another 2-story home that has a few safe boxes in it and a couple NPCs that are actually isolated already. So if you don't feel comfortable pickpocketing, but you have the Blade of Woe from the Dark Brotherhood skill line, this is a very safe time to use that, provided they are away from the stairs. Taking one out means the other one is an easy kill. The bottom floor usually has 1 safe box in the corner near the fireplace, and I think there is one that spawns upstairs near a dresser. Heading outside, we head to the house on the left. This is a 1-room building, and I can't remember if it's 1 or 2 occupants inside. I also think there is a safe box that spawns next to the bed, but I'm not 100% sure. This obviously isn't a house that has left much of an impression on me. Next, we head down the street a little and to the right, another single-room home with 2 NPCs. There's a couple cabinets and dressers along with a safe box that will spawn between the bed and the changing screen. I make a mistake here and loot a green item while I think I'm hidden, and obviously they see that, and I get a small bounty. I also end up trying the Blade of Woe when it seems like the lady's back is turned. Despite her being turned around, she notices anyway, and I get a decent-sized bounty, which will make the guards hostile towards me. This doesn't usually bother me too much because it still fades pretty fast, and as long as it doesn't get too much higher, I don't usually have to wait very long before I can continue normally. I do alter my route though slightly, and I will explain that in a moment. Next, we go just a bit further down the street towards the gate to this house on the left, a larger single home dwelling with 2 NPCs. There's a safe box that usually sits at the foot of the bed and can be reached safely while standing on top of it or to the side. There's a few cabinets and boxes checked while in here as well, so make sure to go through it all. Now, at this point, if I did not have a bounty, I would also do this house on the other side of the stable, but because it is so close to a guard that likes to hang out outside frequently, I will skip it during this run. So instead, I just run out of the gate using my Nightblade skill, Shadowy Disguise, to evade the guards and make my way towards the Outlaw's Refuge. Getting to the fence and selling my items, I will turn back around and repeat the process until all of my daily fence interactions have been used up. If you do this cautiously and slowly at first and really understand the limits of what your character can do without being caught, you can easily do this whole route without ever getting a bounty. So this route was basically only 5 minutes and good for about 1,000 gold in just green items. I did skip some white items because I did not want something so low in value to take up one of the interactions. That is totally up to you though. You can also find some blue items, which are 250 gold apiece. You usually get about 1 or 2 of those per run, so this was rather unlucky. Do keep in mind the amount of safe boxes I wasn't able to loot due to someone being ahead of me on the rotation. Obviously, that is something that can happen if there are people just in front of you, so it is what it is. But it's a very easy route to learn and start leveling up the necessary skills to start making the most out of these activities. I hope you guys enjoyed and found this video helpful or informative. Please leave a like and comment on what you would like to learn about in the future. I also do live streaming on Twitch, so if you get a chance, be sure to check me out over there. The link is in the description below. Thank you and have a great day.